And here we are on day 21 of our advent calendar, and yet again we have another crazy hat, but we also have another crazy opening. And in today's video we're going to be checking out this very nice Raikou from the Select Wave of figures, and this is the first of the Series 6 wave of figures, and you'll be able to see how we managed to get this pose with Raikou. The full unboxing will follow right now, so let's go on and let's go check it out. Here we go. Hello and welcome to TotoTCG. You are here with me, Matthew, and we are back here with another Pokemon video on the channel. And in today's video we're going to be opening up the lovely looking, here it comes, ominous shadow of Raikou. Oh yes! Another one of the legendary dogs. Of course, we've already opened Suicune as part of a previous wave, and now as part of this lovely festive week, we have Raikou right in front of us here. Now this is part of the Series 6 or Wave 6 of these figures, and you can see the different wave here. We've already had Rayquaza and Mewtwo. Mewtwo we've already opened. Rayquaza I've already personally got. And you can see as well we have got a Garchomp as well. And just for those little spoilers, we do have Garchomp as well. So we've got both of these to open up. You'll never be able to guess what might be for tomorrow. But that is for another day. And of course, like I said, we have got Raikou right here with a very nice festive background now. We're all ready to go, feeling the festivities now. Only a few days to go and we're opening toys up. We should be doing this on Christmas, but no, we're doing it just before Christmas. So hopefully you guys may have been able to get your hands on this. I managed to find both of these and I was like, do you know what? Yes, we're going to go straight in and grab them before they become really rare. The packaging always looks very, very cool, very nice. We've got two different artworks of Raikou on the side. Raikou is definitely probably my favourite of all the legendary dogs, so I'm really excited that we've got this one. And we have been teased as well that Entei will be at some point as well. It does beg the question, if we've had all the birds, we've had all the dogs, are we going to get anything else moving forward? So we will see. But regardless of that, like we have previously done, we're going to get into this and we're going to open up the box here. And we're going to open it up, display it as best as we can. It is a four-legged creature, but I might have it sort of jumping merrily whilst it's on its stand. But without further ado, let's... I think I got all the sticky, there we go, it's all good. Alright, let's bring this down. So, we've got our little display base there, and we should probably have a stick. We do indeed have a stick. There is said stick. Nice. So we'll pop that to the side there. Let's bring this out as well, just so we'll bring the whole thing out. There you come. Come on, Raikou. There we go. I got you. Right, no booklet in there. Is there a booklet at all? I don't think there is a booklet in this. Now you will probably notice Raikou is missing a tail. It's not, it's just in the back. We have to retrieve his tail for him and build him up. So let me get this plastic out of the way here, or at least the tape that's holding the plastic out of the way, if we can. Ooh, there we go. Right. Peel all of this. Just stick that on there. Of course, we're always very keen to recycle everything on the channel, so everything will be sorted and put aside. Now there is the tail right there, so I think it's held in with a bit of tape, so we'll get that off the bit of tape here. There we go. And there is the tail piece here, which we can fix on in just a second. It's probably just going to be a click in and then that's it, it's in. But we might be able to pull it out. Hopefully we put it in the right way. I think it is up like that. But I'll double check on the box just to be on the safe side. And in terms of extra bits, there we go. Very nice and simple. Little plastic piece there just to hold in one of the mains, and then out, oh my goodness me, out comes Raikou. Oh yes. Oh, he is a big legendary dog. My goodness me. Alright, Raikou, how we doing? Let's get you all properly sorted first before we start looking at everything. Now, the tail is in and the two pointy bits are, so it should be going in that way. Correct? Correct. Okay, let's put it in that way. No, does it click? Oh, there's the click. Okay, that's probably now in there for life. There you go, Raikou. You're all fixed. Does he have an opening closing mouth? Oh, he does! Oh, he has an open closing mouth. Oh, that's brilliant. Just what we need. A little bit of extra posability. So let's have a little look at Raikou right here. Really excited about this one. We've got the same sort of thing with the head being attached to the mane. So this whole sort of main section, it's sort of like a solid piece of plastic. It feels slightly rubbery. It's not like plastic, it's plastic, but it's rubbery plastic. It's slightly rubbered, but you can't really move it. It's that sort of like thick plastic, but with a rubbery texture. There's pointy bits on his head here, which are, again, it's a harder soft plastic, but it is slightly, I can slightly move it. His sort of tusk bits here, or his sort of whiskers, if you will, they are slightly bendable. So they are a little bit, they're not really sharp. They're sort of rounded off on the tips, so not that much of a safety concern. Although his teeth here, again, look, you can see, nice bit of wibble wobble. So they are a nice sort of bendy plastic. Again, rounded off, so not too sharp on there. Claws as well are slightly rounded off, so there's not much pointing there. And then these, again, are all rounded off. So in terms of like sharpness, there's not really a lot here that is of safety concern, if you will, if you were thinking of getting this for maybe a younger Pokemon fan. Not like myself, but but this does look very, very nice indeed. Plenty of articulation, of course, with the legs here. It does seem to be pretty nicely done with all of the articulation. Now I'm just gonna see if there is bendability here, because I can see there is somewhat of a ball joint or something. It's like a hinged ball joint at the bottom of the feet on all of them, so you can get that posability out and in. The legs are sort of kicking forward and back, although of course different bits and pieces are going to be hindering that. There's a little bit of like outward motion on all of these, really, so you can get a little bit more, so it might be able to bend back a little bit more, if you know what I mean. But overall, it can stand on its own extremely well. Once you've got all four paws situated, you can just have a bog standard looking Raikou right there. But of course, you want to display him in some sort of pose, if you will. So that's what we're going to be having a look at. Now, to obviously help with that, we do have the display base, which comes with every single one. And on this one, we've only got the little thingy here, so this is just going to go in there. And then we've got a little bendable thing here. Now, his peg is right underneath his chest, and it's just a straight up peg, which means it would just go straight. It would go straight in if I didn't drop it. Right, there we go. Let's pop that in. So that goes straight in, and then this will just go in there. Now, in doing this, it does mean that all of the legs become sort of loose because they can't flatten on the surface with the peg in. It's the same thing that happened with the Suicune as well. So you have this sort of almost flying effect going on here. Now, what it does allow you to do is, obviously, because you've got the rotation here, is you could bend it back a little bit. So you then have this sort of almost jumping pose if you wanted to. Now, this is where it can get quite interesting, because you can start to get a little bit creative with what you wanted to do. So if we get the bending going, now, I will be brutally honest, sometimes when I am bending the legs and arms of these things, they are quite tough. But once you sort of like give them a bit of welly and do it the once, normally they're okay then afterwards. So a little bit of welly, and then that has got proper articulation. Now, there is a little bit of a gap here, you can probably see just in there. So not ideal to sort of display it like that, not like standing up anyway like a human. But yeah, I mean, you can get that bending in there. So from the back, it doesn't look too bad, and it is slightly bent there. But yeah, once you've done that on all of these, it should give you plenty of posability, which is what we're just going to do here without doing too much damage. It doesn't stress any of the plastic, to be fair, and it does feel as if it's on sort of like a ball hinge, so you can obviously rotate this, and if it did pop out, you could probably pop it back in quite easily. Not that I'm going to try and do that today. So you can bring the paws forward here if you wanted to. Now obviously you can't hug anyone, unfortunately, but you can obviously have that sort of weird jumping pose. It does just look a little bit normal. Well, it looks a bit weird like that, to be honest, if we were just to display it like that. So we want to look for something dynamic. Let's have a little look, see what we've got here. I mean, there's an interesting one on the side. I don't know how well we're going to be able to recreate that, but obviously you've got a bit of head tilt as well, so we can get a little bit of attitude with the head potentially. Now it does have, it's obviously on a hinge, but also the neck itself is on, the head itself and also the neck, it looks like, are on a ball, like a slight swivel, so you can get that sort of bit of articulation, but of course this massive mane is in the way, so it's really limited. Like, I'm trying, but that's as far as it can sort of go. So you can get him to say yes and no, but anything more than sort of like a full twist, it's not going to happen. So that does limit us slightly. Now of course the mouth does open and close, which does give him a little bit more attitude, but this is a bit of a but, because if I wanted to see his head open like that, do I want to see that? I don't know. I really don't know. Or would we rather it just be closed and him be a bit natural or slightly open? Because it doesn't really matter, does it? That looks a bit more angry. That looks like he's a bit out of a breath. He's having a pant. This is the big question now. How do we want to sort of do this? Because we could possibly see how much these front paws bend. I don't know how much though. It is slightly, not as much as I was hoping, but there is a smidgen. You can see all of the inner bits there. Now I'm not pulling on that too much. That's just the articulation that's sort of causing that to happen. So it doesn't seem like that is going to be too nice with how we can articulate it. I'm very sort of thingy about sort of a neutral sort of pose maybe, but one where, oh, it's very odd. It's very odd. Could have one where he's like downwards. Oh, and the pegs just come out. There we go. Sort of, ooh, sort of as if he's landing maybe? Maybe that would work. I'm not too sure. Let's see if there is any sort of scope for a little bit of a bend there. If we were to sort of bend that as if that's landing, and then this one as if it's about to sort of hit the ground, so it's a little bit more off. Okay, it's just the back legs now. I don't want them sort of like that. Ooh, how do we want to sort of go about doing this? We could have one so that it's touching, although we've already got this one touching the base, so maybe it's worth that one being off, this one trying to touch the base here. Now, if I got some bend in there, how much more can I bend it for? Not a ton. Not ideal. Not ideal there. It does look a little bit weird. Sometimes I think this peg hinders what we can do, but I just like it because obviously it keeps it on the base there, it keeps it nice and centralised. This is a bit of a tough one, to be fair. I've had the pleasure of doing the other ones, but this one just seems to be a little bit of an oddity really. His legs are quite long. Does that work? I guess that kind of works. Just want to sort of see a bit of attitude really with his head. If I could bend it any more, but if I'm looking at it like that, that's on the base, that's sort of doing that. I guess that kind of works. I guess it does. I'm kind of looking at it to sort of, I think from that angle it works. I think from any other angle it sort of would just look a bit odd, but I think that works for me. Because you can see the bend in the leg at there, think that angle, he's sort of come in at the camera there, the head is slightly tilted, we've got that here and that raised, which does, I think, work in its favour. So I think I'm quite happy with that as our pose for Raikou there. I want all of the probably legendary dogs to have that sort of like jumping pose. They're all going to have that sort of dog pose, but it's going to be interesting to see how Entei goes with this. And what we'll do as well is hopefully in the new year when that does come out, we'll do a comparison with all three of them to see exactly what they look like all together. But there we go. I shall leave it here for this video. And we will be right back next, basically tomorrow, for another day on the advent calendar and to check out another one of our items. No surprise what that might be if you've already seen the beginning of this. But yeah, apart from that, I'll leave it here for this video. Hope you guys did enjoy the festive seasons. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video on the channel. I'll see you then.